right, today, special guest on the Win Daily Show. I have James Rocker, Win Daily fantasy writer, CEO of Nerds That Care. James, appreciate you hanging out with me today, man.
Hey, Mike, what's going on, man? Appreciate you having me.
It's a good day to be alive, man. It's a good day to be alive. Let's get it. So, the first question I have for you today, James, is what does it mean to you to win daily?
Well, listen, I think that's a huge question, right? I take it as a question of how do you win at life, right? So it's not just fantasy sports that we're talking about. It's about a lot of things, right? It's about being a good person. It's about I have a family, so it's about being a father and a good husband. And I think with kind of all good things, right? The world kind of works in mysterious ways, as you can see what we're going through now, of course. But I think everything comes back around, and it's kind of a good karma to live a life of just winning and doing good things and just being a good person. So that's what kind of win daily means to me.
I love it, man. And it's so much fun. I get to talk to, as I told you off air, I get to talk to all the writers. I get to talk to everyone here at the company, and everyone has that same mindset. And I think it's a testament to Jason and the team he's put together, but it's also a testament to that mindset and what it means. And you're finding good people do good things, and good people are trying to be better, and they're staying positive. And as you said, the world works in mysterious ways. We're going
Yeah.
to roll with it. We're going to do what we can. So I think that part is absolutely fantastic. So I know the sports you love to deal with here, baseball and football. I knew baseball. I didn't realize football. I mean, I joined the team literally my first day was Super Bowl. So after that, we started talking basketball. So I didn't get to talk too much football, but we were able to start talking baseball a little bit before the world kind of turned off. So I got to
Yeah.
ask, when and where did you fall in love with baseball, man?
I think I fell in love with baseball watching the Yankees as a kid. I was a big Don Mattingly and Dave Winfield fan. I had posters up in my bedroom that was a Giants and Yankees fan. So I had LT on one side and Don Mattingly and a few Yankees on the other. I could see it, man. I could see you representing the
Yep,
LT
I
jersey. I
got it. I
love it.
got it.
I love it. I love it. That guy was such a badass. But so
Sorry to cut you off, man. I
no,
actually
you're
got
good.
to take a shot. LT was over here at a local bar, and my dad knew the bar owner, so they got us real close, and we were able to
That's
kind of heckle him into taking a shot with our entire table. It was really funny. So
that's
that's
great,
on
man.
the that one crossed that one off the record books. But
I
I
love it.
apologize. I apologize.
No, no, you're good. You're good. So, yeah, so I think just as a young kid growing up, grew up on Long Island, right outside the city, and Yankees were my squad. It was interesting. I think I like to always root against the favorite, or I should say, my friends who they were into. Really, that's what I mean. And they were all Met fans, and Yankees, of course. Just being that rival, I think it was where I was of course. But anyway, yeah. So big, big Yankee fan, and I actually stopped watching and playing fantasy sports for a while, right when I kind of got married and had a family. So we'll get into that. But yeah, so Yankees and Giants all the way.
I love it, man. So I'm a big Mets fan. It's I appreciate that you call it a rivalry, but let's be honest, man, there is no rivalry there at all. It is what it is. I mean, the only reason they're technically rivals is because they're in the same city, but they're far enough apart that it doesn't really matter. We all know that, and there is zero rivalry really between the Mets and the Yankees. It's just
Yeah,
because they're in the same city. That's really all it comes down to, man.
that's it, man. And everyone loves going to the Subway Series. Let's face it. I do root for the Mets too. I like a lot of the guys that are on their team, especially when we're talking about targeting for DFS and stuff. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that think Yankee fans are haters, and I feel like I'm exactly the opposite. So I'm not hating on anybody. Maybe we can talk about the Red Sox in a little bit, but other than that, man, we're all cool.
Well, I appreciate and respect that, but I will be the first person to tell you that I hate the Yankees, and I watch Yankee games to root against them. I'll be totally honest. I think that's just
It's all
the
good.
envious Mets fan. Again, like I never get anything. We don't have nice things, and just to see how accomplished and successful, and again, the Yankees do everything right, and the Mets do everything wrong, and it's
It
just so
feels that way.
frustrating.
It feels that way all the time. I know. My friends are the same way. They're haters. I only have a couple Yankee friends that are in my close group of friends, and they all seem to be Met fans except for like a couple of us. And man, the Met fans are such haters. Why are you guys such haters?
I told you we're jealous. It's all envy, man. It all comes down to being envious. I mean, when you see your team do everything wrong and then you see another team just do everything right, all you have to do is follow their lead. You don't have to recreate the wheel. What are you doing hiring a GM who is also a player agent and then surprise he brings all his players? We don't need to dive too far deep in that.
Yeah,
That is what it is. Tell me,
absolutely.
I want to talk more about you, James.
Sure.
So you said you stopped doing a little bit of fantasy after you got married. I mean, you have a business, you have kids, you have a life. When did it start to kind of trickle back into your life, and when did you start to say, I want to dip my toe back into that pool a little bit?
Yeah, I actually, I own a computer business. We take care of business services for companies, and a couple guys approached us to try to make a DFS site. And it really wasn't exactly that. It was a pretty cool idea. I won't really get into the specifics, but a bunch of guys we had working for us at the time were application developers. And long story short, they came to us with this amazing idea. And it really kind of re-sparked my passion and love for what I used to play, which was season fantasy all the time. I remember playing a tremendous amount of Yahoo leagues, and looking back at it, I always did well. I always finished towards the top of of large leagues, a pretty good competition. So looking back at it was cool, but I think that kind of re-sparked it. And then because it made me research the industry a little bit, and I stumbled upon, of course, two websites, one being FanDuel and one being DraftKings, and then I started to play, and it really was only, I think maybe like 2017 was when I first kind of like really started to play. And I remember taking down a pretty large football tournament for, at the time on the small amount of money that it was a pretty nice, hit for a payday.
Don't
And that was
don't
it.
hold back, man. Don't hold
That
back.
got,
How much was it? How much was
it
it?
was, I remember it wasn't a lot. It was like $6,000 on $4.
That's good
Yeah,
stuff. That's what we
yeah,
like to see.
yeah. And I came in first out of like 32,000 people or something, and I only had a couple lineups in that particular contest, so it wasn't like I max entered or anything. I typically don't max enter anything, by the way, but that got me into it, man. And then and then kind of the story goes on and on until today. So
I love it. That's awesome, man. Well, congratulations. Four
yeah,
four
thank
bucks.
you, thank you.
Turn that
Yeah,
into $6,000. That's not a bad day at all, man. That's not a bad day at all.
I was pretty stoked. I was pretty stoked.
And that's the thing, I love season long fantasy. That will be my first and my truest love. But it's kind of nice not having, you can't play on a Tuesday. You can't figure out the waiver wire. All right,
Right.
you just don't have to worry about it. It's nice.
It is a beautiful thing. So, and now here we are, right, with the pandemic going on, and we can't even play MLB. I'm pretty bummed out. I was really looking forward to getting, to getting into this really quick and doing what we got to do. So,
Sports will come back. We promise you that. We know at some point, we don't know exactly when, but we know they'll get there. So I know you got a pretty interesting story on joining the team here over at Win Daily. What made you reach out? What made you want to start creating content around daily DFS?
so I just find a passion of helping people. It's really what I do for a living. I help people, with what our business does, but I just really enjoy helping people. And if I found myself, listen, I'm not, well, listen, we are winning every day, but let's face it, you're not having this huge hit every day, like a 6K or 10K or 100K even every single day. That's not really a reality. So I just really enjoy helping people when I realized I was pretty good at this darn thing.
I love it, man. And then so what did you do? Who did you reach out to say,
So
hey?
yeah, I chat with a guy known in the industry by the name of Jagaloo. He lives in Manhattan, and I became pretty friendly with him just through really just through chatting through some DFS websites and some peers and stuff. And I ended up winning a ticket to the World Fantasy Baseball Championship last year out in San Diego, and that's where I met Hobby. And Javi and I basically hung out all weekend. I brought my wife there. He brought his girlfriend at the time, and yeah, we just hit it off, and we just hung out, and we just kind of shot the shit, and just whatever. Really, just kind of real people. I tried approaching a lot of people, and not here to name names, but people were not a lot of people were friendly. There was a lot of friendly people there, but the people that maybe you wanted to talk to, that you see at the top of the leaderboards and stuff, some of them, not all, were just not approachable to some degree or didn't want to talk to you. So I found myself with my buddy Javi, and kind of one thing led to another. I got introduced really through those two guys to Jason Mizrahi, and he basically lives one town over. I kid you not. You could literally ride your bicycle there in 5 minutes. That's how close he lives. And when we first started chatting, I was like, wait, where do you live? And he's like, yeah, over here. And I'm like, come on, man, pulling my leg, right? And anyway, so yeah, we had breakfast one morning. We've been hanging out. We've been talking on a regular basis. He invited me into the city. I got to hang out in the Sirius studio and do the Sirius XM show with him as a special guest. So that was amazing. And yeah, we just hit it off right away. And what a cool guy, man. And to be part of something so amazing, just like you said before, with the guys and girls that have the not too many girls, but mostly guys that have the same type of mindset is tough to find. So it's been tremendous. You can see it, rocking my hat. I'm rocking my Win Daily sweatshirt. Love the team, and I love the grind, man. I love winning. I love the grind. It doesn't really matter anymore if it's LOL. Can't believe I'm saying it. League of Legends. I can't play some of these other sports that these other guys are playing, so I don't even know what they are because I don't care to look at it. I help out with anything that we have going on for the team, whether it's in Discord. Javi, myself, and Ghost just did a podcast a little while ago on LOL. It's already posted up on the site, MyDailySports.com, so check it out. It's great, man. I just, and especially during this time, not that I'm saying it gives you something to do. It gets your mind off of everything else. And we're not at the bar right now. You and I are I got no drinks here. I got nothing. I got, it's just you and me, and we're just hanging out. So it gives us, give back, and it gives us something to occupy ourselves during this crazy time we're living in.
That it's great, James, and I just want to say, we appreciate what you do here. I think it's fantastic. I'm a baseball guy through and through. I love football. I don't really care about basketball or hockey that much until playoffs, and at that point, it is what it is when it comes to DFS. But I was so excited for baseball season. You and I were going to talk every Sunday on Sirius XM, man. I was going to love it, and we were going to love it, and it is what it is, and we'll get through it. But 10 years ago, if somebody said, James, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be writing and doing podcasts. Probably didn't even know what a podcast was at that point. I might not even know what a podcast was at that point. Writing and doing podcasts about people playing video games, and you're going to help people win money. What do you think 10 years ago James would have said?
I would be like, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind.
I love it. That's good stuff. And it's just crazy. And again, like you enjoy doing it, right? Like you wouldn't do it if you didn't like it.
Listen, and like to some degree, like I feel, other than basketball, I find basketball ridiculously hard, mainly because I don't watch it at all. The guys make fun of me. I can't name, I can, but I'm exaggerating. I can't name 10 guys. You know what I mean? And to me, every sport, it doesn't matter if it's baseball, football, LOL, NASCAR, it's a puzzle, right? And it's figuring out, building that puzzle the right way. And it's all still based on the same factors, right? It's based on salary, it's based on value, it's based on projections. It's also based on ownership and where everybody else is going to go. I tell the guys all the time, beginners more so, if everybody builds the same lineup, if everybody has the same idea to build the same lineup, the needle never moves. So, in order to get in front of that needle, you have to be different. And I think we give some great advice with some guys on the site. There's too many to list. There's a tremendous entourage of guys on the site here. So I love it, man. And I love figuring out that puzzle, and I love giving that data and that information to the team so they can help the other guys run with it too. So.
And we appreciate you, James. And I just also want to say I was added to a group chat with James recently, and he has the best memes. I don't know where you find them, man. I don't know where you find them, but they're the
Oh
best.
man,
And you had me looking around one today. I was all confused. Look here, look there. I was like, what's going on? And then
it's
I
great.
got. So
It's
it's
great.
awesome, man. No, I really do appreciate you. Excited to work a lot
Got
more
it.
with you. So so you're doing all this for the Win Daily team. You know, you're writing, you're on these podcasts, I think you were on Hobby's Beercast, if I'm not mistaken, too, at one point. You're
Yeah.
learning these new sports that, even as you said, 10 years ago, A, you didn't think they would have existed. B, you didn't think you'd be learning about them to try and win money. I mean, how do you do all this, help the community along the way, as we've been talking about? How do you do all this and be the CEO of a, successful
Yeah.
company?
I'll tell you, man, there's no magic to it. It's not easy. I've always been a hustler. I really don't stop. My day consists of getting up pretty early, checking on many things with the company, having many meetings, going through the entire day, servicing, helping our clients, helping our employees. I mean, I usually don't look at any fantasy sports during the daytime hours, to be honest. Um, as soon as kind of work's over and the work really doesn't ever end, so I might take a break at 6 o'clock. Look at about an hour's worth of data. I'm pretty fast. I could take about an hour's worth of data and build some lineups for 7 o'clock, whether it's basketball or baseball. But so after that, it's sometimes hang out with the family for a little bit, and then it's the grind. So it's when the kids go to bed. Pretty much until I go to bed is when I'm looking at most of the stuff. And I use my time wisely. I know a lot of the tools and how to navigate the Win Daily site and chats. Javi's always chatting me. I can never reply fast enough, I feel like. So chats during the day and at night with these guys through text or Discord. And the information is really readily available. You have to just kind of know where to go and grab it. So I use that time pretty wisely. And but my head is when I'm focused on the company, I can't do the other thing. And when I'm focused on grinding out fantasy sports, I can't do the other thing. So I'm pretty laser focused when I got my head in either game. So.
And that's, you got to do that, right? Like, especially, again, you're the CEO of a company. It's very difficult to kind of just, hop back and forth. Oh, maybe I'll check out, see what Mike Trout did against this Angel or this Oakland Athletics pitcher today. Like, you can't really do that. It's a little difficult. So, yeah, man, I think what you're doing is great. I think, again, your company's awesome. If you want, you're more than welcome to tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, sure. So I mean, I've always had a passion for starting my own business. When I was about 27 years old, it was about, I can do the math for you, 2005. Now you know how old I am.
I could do that math, yeah.
And I was about 27, 28. I started a company, an IT company. I really enjoyed helping people. I went to their homes. I would fix their home computers. I would help them with things called malware, and we didn't even know what that stuff was back then. And I would be removing all these viruses for people and helping them, with their home setups mostly. And then one thing led to another. One person's home setup, husband had a business, and I connected with him, and then he wanted me to do work at his office. I remember him calling me during my day job, and I was like, man, I can't go there right now. I'm at work. Like I can come over there after. And then I realized I had something, and it really kickstarted. I left my job in 2006, and I just went balls to the wall and freaking grinding and hustling every single day. I built it up to really what it is today, which is we got about 30 employees. We're out in Suffolk County, out by the airport out there. And it's great, man. We got 6,000 square feet, warehouse, a huge office. We help businesses basically run, maintain, and keep all their technology organized. So whether you're an attorney, a car dealership, a doctor's office, I mean, doctor's offices are crazy. And right now, through this pandemic with the coronavirus going on, we've been busier than ever, helping everybody get set up and work from home, showing everybody how to use Zoom like we're on today. well, got some bad press recently, but WebEx, Cisco WebEx, and Microsoft Teams, and Office 365, and I had customers calling us the other day, and they said, "Oh my God, I'm so happy you moved us to the cloud, and working from home is now, there, all this advice that we gave people a couple of years ago about moving a lot of their business to the cloud, they're loving us right now, and listen." We are doing everything that we can to keep every small business, because that's our clients, all small businesses, mainly on Long Island and Manhattan, Jersey, safely up and running and working from home right now. And, we had to make some tough business decisions in the past few weeks, but we're cranking through, man. It's been busy, and we have a great, great staff. I mean, a bunch of guys and girls that are dedicated to everybody's business. It's not only about protecting our business, but it's protecting our clients' businesses and their personal welfare, and all things, man. So it's just back to full circle, back to the beginning of this interview. Doing good things for all people and helping people in a time of need. So we're winning over there by day, and I'm winning over here also by night.
Very nice transition. I like that, James. That was good stuff. Yeah, and thank you for doing that. Obviously my small businesses are close to my heart. My mom owned a couple, my dad owned a few along the way as well. I own one right now, so that's, cross your fingers for me too, man. But it's definitely it's the lifeblood of America. Anyone you talk to in corporate America, I'd say 99% of them wish they weren't in corporate America. They just really love the checks, and hey man, to each his own. You got to do what you got to do. But I love how that, you and Jason found each other, obviously through the wonderful Javi. But at the same time, it's just great that, as you said, you kind of hit it off with Javi. He introduced you to Jay, and now you guys are all. It's all the same mindset. It's all the same positivity, grinding, hustling. Those are some words you've used, and really just making sure that we're helping others. It's another huge theme of this, and what you've been able to do in your day job and at your night job. You're just always here to help people, and we appreciate that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, and keep doing what you're doing. It's awesome stuff, and we appreciate you also.
Not stopping anytime soon, brother. Hopefully we can just get that Sirius show back up and running. That was my favorite part. But last thing I got for you, maybe two more questions. But the first, one thing that I want to focus on too, again, with Win Daily, we're here to help you try and take down money on DFS, right? And you're doing that every night, and we appreciate you learning all these new sports that you never thought even existed, and now you're helping people win money, which I think is awesome. But we also want people to understand that, again, I've asked it and we've talked about it. Win Daily is a mindset. You could be and do Win Daily outside of sports. So out of curiosity, I mean, you're a business leader, you're a person, you're a husband, you're a father. What do you do outside of DFS and outside of sports that you make sure every day is done so that you can win daily there?
I think just waking up with a good attitude. It doesn't matter if there's a coronavirus pandemic going on outside, or I'm going to the beach. I got the same attitude every day. Sure, it's a terrible thing that's going on out there. Using that as part of the conversation here, but this whole time I've been positive through the whole thing. It's really important to have that mindset. I see how a lot of people have been behaving, whether they're in my immediate family, and I just do whatever I can to keep them relaxed, reassure them of all things kind of going on. So it's all about how you get up on that right side of the bed every day. Used to go to the gym a lot, but the family and the business is taking somewhat of a toll, and other things going on. But definitely it's all about that mindset, and it really is a real thing. Like, people laugh at me about things I say, and it's so true. What you write down, whether they're goals or whatever, it will happen. If you speak it and you believe it, you can achieve it. Right? A little corny, but it's true, man. Whatever you believe, you can achieve. So I just tell people, it's nonsense whatever you have going on that you think you can't do, because you can do it.
Exactly. I completely agree. Positivity is a magic word. You already said it, so I appreciate that. And I agree. It might sound a little corny, what you believe you can achieve, but it's totally true. I write down what I want to do every single day. Every single day, I wrote it down, exactly what I want to do and how I want to do it. I want to bring energy to others through content. And this is exactly how I do it. And I'm having fun doing it. And, hopefully Jason starts to pay me more money one of these days. But until then, we see how it goes. But no,
We'll get there.
I kid. I appreciate Jason giving me the shot. It's been a lot of fun. But it's just, if you put it out there, like their law of attraction, The Secret, there are some like real hard numbers and facts and data and physics that come involved with a lot of this stuff. It's very interesting. I'm not going to kind of go off on a whole tangent here, but there's some great books about it. Highly suggest Law of Attraction again and The Secret. Yeah, those two. But I just think it's great that, again, everybody, it's like-minded. We're all like-minded. We all have, but it's not an echo chamber, right? It's not like, oh, we're the best. We're the best. This is why we're the best. It's all trying to help and spread positivity. As I've talked about with some other people in that Discord chat. If one of the subscribers starts getting on one of the writers because they maybe didn't have the best pick for that night, everyone's, no, guys, what are you doing? Everything about positivity. Jason comes in 45 minutes late, tells us that we all have to stay positive, even though we're way off that topic of conversation at that point. But it is awesome. It's not only the people that work here that he attracted and got together, it's also the subscriber base and that community that he's attracted, which I think is fantastic. And it's a testament to you as well.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. You're absolutely right. It's a family, it's a team, and we definitely have that all for one for all mindset for sure.
We got it, man. Awesome. Well, this was fantastic. James Rocker, Win Daily fantasy writer, baseball, football extraordinaire, CEO of Nerds That Care. James, appreciate your time today, man.
Thanks again, Mike. I really appreciate you, bro.